Hey guys, my name is Vinny, and today we're going to do a quick throwing lesson. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just tell you the equipment that you're going to need before we get started. So you're going to need some kind of ball, whether it's a baseball, lacrosse ball, or tennis ball. Doesn't matter, something small. And after that you need a sock. So you can have either a mid-calf sock like I have, or you can get an ankle sock, works as well. Then you're going to need a nice long rope or some kind of twine. And then you're going to need a resistance band, which I have, or you could use a water bottle that's full, or some kind of canned item like a vegetable, whatever, canned soup, that works too. Something light, but a little bit of weight to it. So now that you know the equipment, what you're going to do is you're going to put the equipment together to make the contraption for throwing. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So here's how it works. You're going to take your ball, whether it's a lacrosse ball, baseball, I'm using a baseball, and you're going to put it inside of the sock. Now when you put it inside of the sock, make sure you get the ball to go all the way to the bottom. So when you put it in, it should be all the way at the bottom. You should feel it, okay? Then after that, you're going to take your string or your rope and you're going to tie it around your ball. So I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your rope, you're going to wrap it around the top of the ball. You should feel where the top of the ball is. Just feel that out and find it. And then you're going to take your rope and you're going to wrap it around that part of the sock. Once you've done that, you should almost have like a loop or a hole. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the shorter end of the rope. You should feel that. You should just try to put your fingers on the rope and just keep sliding until you feel nothing more. You're going to take that part of the rope, which is the shorter part of the rope, and you're going to put it through the hole. So you're going to put it through the hole that you made or the loop that you made with the rope that's above the ball. And then once you put that string or that rope through that hole, you're going to pull that end of the rope tight. Okay? So that'll be the first step. So you're going to pull, you should pull with both of your hands. You're going to take both parts of the string or the rope and just pull it so that it's tight. You'll feel when you've made that tight knot. Then after that, you're just going to repeat that same exact step. So here's what you're going to do after that. You're going to make a loop, but this time you're going to make a loop with both parts of the rope, not with the hole that you made with the ball. You're going to take the rope, both strings from the rope, and you're going to wrap one part of it around the other, creating that loop or that hole again. And then once you're done with that, you're going to take the end of that part of the rope, and again, this is the shorter part of the rope, and you're going to pull it through the hole or through that loop, and you're going to pull nice and tight again. So you should be holding, now at this point, you should be holding both sides of the rope or the string, and you should feel that nice tight knot. Okay, now the ball should be dangling a little bit. You should feel it, and it should be nice and tight. Okay, so now you got the ball part down. That side is done. You could put that end of the rope away from you on one side of you. Now the next part, you're going to grab the complete opposite side of that rope. So you're going to find the other side entirely, and you're going to wrap that part around your wrist. Okay, so if you want to, you could put something on your wrist so that it doesn't hurt, because you'll see why. But you're going to take that end of the rope, and what you're going to do is you're going to make that same loop, but around your wrist instead of the ball. So pretend it's the ball, same idea. Make that loop or that hole by taking the shorter end of the rope and twirling it or twisting it around the longer part. So now you should have that hole or that loop. Once you've done that, you're going to take the shorter part, again, feel it out, you'll see where it is. You're going to take that shorter part of the rope and you're going to put it through the hole that you made or through the loop that you just made. And again, like before, you're going to take both sides of the rope. You should be holding it with both hands on both sides, and you're just going to pull tight. Same idea as the baseball. However, this time, when you pull it, don't pull it as hard as you can, because that way you might tighten it too much and it'll hurt when you go to throw it later. So make it snug but not too tight around your wrist. Okay? Once you feel comfortable doing that and you feel like it's a good, nice and tight knot that you made, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take the shorter end of the rope, wrap it around the longer part of the rope again, and then you're going to take the smaller part of the rope and put it through that hole that you just made. Now you should be holding both sides of the rope again, and all you're going to do is you're going to pull tight. So again, you should feel the knot that you just created, and now you should have yourself a nice little knot on your wrist for when you throw. Okay, so now you got both sides of it. You got your sock and your ball that's tied in a knot, and then there should be a knot around your wrist. Okay, so considering you just did that, now you should feel how it works. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rope and you're gonna just pull the rope and reel it in towards you so that you can retrieve the ball. Okay, so you're gonna take it from your wrist and just keep pulling until you get your ball. You should feel the weight of the ball on the other side of the string or the rope. And now you should have the ball in your hand, just holding it in your hand. Okay, so now, before we go any further, I'm gonna go over some quick safety rules. So when you're throwing, if you're in your backyard, you're gonna wanna throw the ball at a length and create a rope that's at a length that's not too far. So you're gonna make sure it doesn't go either over your fence or hit something or anything like that. Okay, so that's one safety tip. Next one is gonna be not to throw as hard as you can, because that way you might injure your shoulder or your arm. We don't want that. And then after that is just make sure of your surroundings, of course. Just make sure everything is in proper etiquette and everything, so that nothing gets broken. All right, so now I'm gonna break down the skill, and I'm gonna break it down by its parts or by its cues. So you're just gonna remember 4 cues, and again, you can go back in the video to watch each cue in case you get it wrong. So you can rewind and listen to the video if you're having trouble. So here we go. First cue is gonna be to point to your target. So what you're gonna do is, I'm a righty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna point with my left arm, and what should happen is your left shoulder now, if you're a righty, should be facing your target, and you should be pointing with your left hand extended out to your target. So what you should look like you're just pointing to your left. You're standing straight, but you're pointing to your left. Okay? You don't want your chest to face your target. You want your chest to be to the side. Make sure that your shoulder is facing your target. Okay? That's the first cue. The second cue, after you got that down, is going to be to get your arm way back. Now, what I mean by getting your arm way back is you're going to take your throwing arm. So again, I'm a righty. I'm going to take my throwing arm, which is my right hand, and extend it as far back as I can go. So I'm going to get that arm way back so that I can get that power when I throw the ball. Now, the important thing to keep in mind when you put your arm way back is you're going to put all of your weight on your back foot. So it should be on your right foot if you're a righty, and on your left foot if you're a lefty. Okay? Make sure you got that down. So what you should look like right now is you look like you have a T pose or a T formation going, where you're pointing to your target with your left hand, and then your arm is way back with your right hand if you're a righty, and all of your weight should be on your back foot. Okay? Again, if you get confused, go over it again and just listen to see what you're missing or what might be going wrong. So at this point, you should have those 2 cues down. Your weight should be on your back foot. Now we're going to get into the third cue. Okay? Third cue is going to be to step without position. So again, I'm a righty. So I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to step with opposition towards my target. Now, as I'm stepping with opposition, I'm going to make sure that my weight that was on my back foot before is now going to my front foot or to my opposite foot that I just stepped with. Okay, so your weight should go from your back foot, and it should be your right foot if you're a righty, to your left foot when you get that weight transfer. Okay, so make sure you're transferring your weight when you do that. Okay, that's going to be the third cue. Now the last and final cue is going to be the release and follow through. So at this point, you should have the 3 cues down that we just said, and now we're going to get into the release and the follow through. So again, you're going to point to your target with your shoulder facing your target, pointing with your left hand. You should have your right arm way back if you're a righty. You should have your weight on your back foot, stepping with opposition with your left foot. And now all you're going to do for this last cue is release the ball out in front of your body and get it as far out as you can and then follow through by taking your arm and putting it to the other side or opposite side of your body. So for me, I'm a righty. The right foot should be, your right arm should be on the left side of your body. And then make sure that when you follow through, your right foot also comes around and is in line with your front foot. Okay, so you should now be facing your target with your chest to your target, and your feet should be facing your target as well. Okay, so that's the whole breakdown of the skill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually demonstrate it in its full entirety, and I'm going to just go through the cues quickly just so you know. Okay, so we got point to your target, shoulder facing your target. You got arm way back, weight on your back foot, step with opposition, transferring your weight to your front foot, release the ball out in front of your body, and then follow through with your arm going to the opposite side of your body and your back foot getting in line with your front foot. Okay? So now I'm going to actually do it and do the entire motion so that you can see what it really looks like. If you're going to do it, again, make sure that you're not throwing it too far or too hard. Okay? So I'm going to go through it so that you know what it is. Ready? Here we go. Okay? Again, once you throw the ball, you're just going to reel it right back in. Make sure it's nice and tight so that it doesn't fall off or become loose or anything like that. So just reel it back in. You should feel it coming back in. Find the ball, take it, put it back in your hand, and you can repeat that process. Okay? Again, you can go back in the video in case you missed something or if you're having trouble with something. So if you have trouble with a specific part of the skill or a part of a cue that you're just not getting, continue to work on that, and then you'll just progress as you go along. Okay? So once you've mastered that, you're going to move on to a more difficult part of throwing. So I'm going to introduce a quick, more difficult way to throw a ball. So this would be used to throw at a longer distance, either to a partner or just like we are right now, just throwing with a rope and a string. So here's how it's going to work. There's not much of a difference. It's really just in the beginning of the skill. So the only difference is when you're going to throw the ball, you're going to take your back foot. So I'm a righty. I'm taking my back foot, my right foot, and putting it behind my left, putting it out in front of me. Okay, so that should become my lead foot. So my right foot becomes my lead foot by putting it behind my left leg and putting it out in front of my body, which is now my front foot. Okay. After that, everything is pretty much the same as I told you in the last throwing skill. So it's the same cues. So now you got point to your target, arm way back, weight should be on my right foot still. It should be on my right leg, ready to throw. Step with opposition with my left foot to my target, transferring my weight to my front foot. Release out in front and follow through. Okay, it should be the same thing. You're just adding that extra step in the beginning to get more power and more explosion off your back foot. Again, this would be for a longer distance, but we're going to pretend that we're throwing for further here. Okay, so now in one motion, I'm going to show you what it should look like. So you're going to take your back foot, step, throw. Okay. Again, same idea. It's just that one step. It's a little weird, a little awkward. It should feel a little weird because it's not like the traditional way of throwing, but it gives you that more power and more balance when you throw. Okay, so reel the ball back in, get it back, and again, practice that. Keep challenging yourself to become a better thrower. Okay, so now for this next part, this is to get yourself stronger to become a better thrower. So like I said before, you could use either a resistance band, or you could use some kind of weighted water bottle with water in it, or a canned item with some kind of weight in it. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you have two of them and make sure that they're not too heavy. Okay? So I have resistance bands. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Let me get this going here. Alright, so you're going to take your two objects, whatever it may be, whether it's the bands or water bottles, and you're just going to put them at your side. If you're using resistance bands, you got to step on your resistance bands in the middle and just keep your feet there the entire time. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to stand still, and you're going to have your hands at your side holding your objects or holding your bands, and you're just gonna stand straight up tall with your hands at your side. This would be almost like a pencil formation or a pencil shape, like when you're going in the pool, your hands are at your side and your feet are together, okay? So after that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your objects and you're gonna take your hands and your arms and you're just gonna make a T pose, okay? So what you should do is you should take your hands and it should almost be like before when we did the arm way back and the point to your target. It's that same exact motion. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take them at the same time and you're gonna take both hands and put them in that T formation. So you should be holding that and you should feel that stretch in your shoulders, okay? So it should look something like this and it should feel in your shoulders that little bit of tension, and then what you're gonna do is make that T pose and go straight back down to that pencil, okay? So from the beginning you go pencil, T pose, and then back to pencil. Another thing to keep in mind when you're doing this, when you're going up to that T pose from the pencil formation in the beginning, you're gonna make sure that you go fast on the way up, but slow on the way down, okay? Make sure you got that because that's important with the resistance part of it to make your arms stronger, okay? So that part is really just to build your strength and to make you a little bit stronger when you throw so you can throw for a further distance. So that could help you out as far as that explosion part that we talked about earlier and just getting that technique and that form down, okay? Again, you can go back in the video if you need to, but I hope that was a meaningful lesson and I hope you learned something today. Hope you're staying safe and just take care, all right? Thanks, guys.